Hey, John Horn here with episode 15 of WIP Wednesday. I just want to start out today's episode with a word, and that word very simply is relationships. What does that look like to you? Should that be important to you? Should it not be important? And I don't mean from an intimate point of view. I just mean from, relationships, with people, teams, organizations. Should it be important? That's the question. That's the question of today, and that's going to kind of be what we put our hand on, put our thumb on. And let me just a couple days ago, I seen a question from a coach that he had inherited a new program, not a new program, a program that had historically been a losing program. So they hadn't been very successful. And the question was, what do you do first? What do you recommend doing first? And several answers were, plant seeds, build relationships, build trust, increase communication, communicate the expectations so that we can hold accountable to the standards. That's a big deal. So, where are you at? How do you look at, relationships, relationship building? And, for me, it has become a very, very important, facet of my life. And the reason why is because for so long, I didn't think it was very important. And the reason why I didn't think it was important was because I hadn't really been in an arena that it made a difference. I don't know if that makes sense or not. I went for a long time, had relationships, high school sports, being a high school athlete. There are relationships there, but not, new bonding type relationships. We all knew each other. We all grew up with each other. So yeah, there was a relationship there, if you will. My first few jobs, again, people that I knew, people that I already had pre-existing relationships with, so we knew what to do. I knew what to do. We all knew each other. The relationships were, I guess you could say, pre-existing, but not until maybe about 10 years into, maybe more than that, about 15 years into my working career, and that would probably put me at the age of maybe early to mid 30s that I realized, dude, I was very, very bad at relationship building. I was very bad at even sustaining a relationship. And I had to realize real quick, and that real quick took about 8 or 9 months, burning bridges and relationship deterioration to get back to a point to even start to build a relationship. And to start to build a relationship, it was more of, just starting to build trust, between, multiple individuals, between a group. And then from there, I started to understand, I started to realize, dude, that's a big deal. Relationships are a major deal. And the reason why is because it helps people become empowered. So whenever your relationships are high or strong, you have increased trust, but not only that, but there's increased empowerment. And everyone wants to be empowered, and they want to be empowered to, they trust me to do a job, and I'm going to do that job. But yet if I see something that I need to change along the way, then they're going to trust that I'm going to do the right thing at the right time. And that's a big deal. And that's kind of what my point of view was. Increased relationship, increased trust, but yet, whenever an individual would come back and say, hey, I couldn't do what you asked me to do, but I done this. Awesome. Great. So you've seen this, you've seen, this. And then from there, you achieved it this way, or you went after it this way. You engaged, this way. Awesome. What's that do? It increased trust. It builds relationships. So as you continue to do that, as you continue to plant those seeds, as you continue to build those relationships and you continue to empower, you continue to increase ownership, then you become basically a team, an organization, a company, if you will, a group that, and you're all just clicking. You're all clicking together. The unfortunate aspect is whenever the time comes that you are no longer empowered. You're no longer entrusted to do or to engage in certain ways. Then trust starts dropping, relationships start dropping, and it becomes detrimental. It becomes detrimental to the team. It becomes detrimental to the group, the organization. That's a big deal. So the big one today is relationships. How do you look at them? For a long time I looked at it from a point of view they weren't really that important, and man, shame on me, because I was totally wrong, and I had to humbly admit that to a lot of people. Excuse me. So relationships, look at them very serious. Be very diligent in the relationship building process, because it'll totally change your life. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some point of views out there, in relationship building or relationships that, people don't think are very important. But I will happily debate those with you. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you will persuade me, another way that, that I don't see, that I don't, that I've never taken into account. But don't hesitate to question. But again, relationships, what do they look like in your life? And organization, family, again, not from an intimate, point of view, but just from a teammate, a team atmosphere. So, John Horn, wrapping it up, episode 15, WIP Wednesday. Be better today than what you were yesterday, better tomorrow than what you were today. And I'm out. Have a great day.